Sweet Jesus, it has been a long week. But that being said, I am here to give the community some relief. This week, we're going to do our first giveaway in a long time, but I sure am not going to make it easy on you. Like everything in life, you're going to have to earn it. Anyway, so first and foremost, we saw a nice bump in silver, a couple days ago. Obviously, that's going to start the same old song and dance that we saw way back in March and April. But again, it's going to be dashed hopes and dreams as soon as price starts to fall. But my thing is, these kind of bumps, it doesn't make it any easier on us. It makes it actually harder to be a stacker because it makes it more difficult to buy. I've had my cart filled up at APMEX for probably a month, and I just cannot pull the trigger. Now, for me, it's a little bit harder right now because I'm just like, the stuff that I'm ordering is higher premium bullion, more like the collectibles, so not really the stacking pieces. But, when you're sitting there looking at the price fluctuate in the cart and you're like, the main thing is the premiums are just insane. For me, I'd rather pay premiums on something that's, collectible regardless of what it is versus, paying for an eagle, and paying a giant premium. I love when I hear people say that, you get your premiums back when you buy eagles. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever sold your eagles before, but you might get $1 or $2 over spot, maybe even $3 if they're feeling generous. I did see a secret video where I think they were offering $5 over spot, which was pretty unheard of. Everybody else was like, I'll give you some of the coin shops. He called 10 different coin shops. I'd say the majority of them were like, we'll give you spot or $1 over. And some of them were even like, we'll pay you under spot for eagles. So again, pretty laughable that you would get your money back on something like eagles. But people get suckered into it day in, day out. Now, the hard part, the GAW. I am so confident that part of this GAW is not going to be given away. I'm just like, I'm going to enshrine it in my stack. That's how confident I am. Nobody's going to get it. But I'll give the community a shot because stranger things have happened and the community deserves some free stuff. So first and foremost, obviously you got to be subbed to the channel. We all require that when we're giving stuff away. But secondly, so I'm going to give away a few different things. So first, I'm going to give away the easy ones, a buffalo. So the buffalo, and again, this is just a run-of-the-mill buffalo. This is a stacker piece. This isn't anything collectible. Why are you giving away a buffalo? Well, again, majority of the people here are stackers or stock collectors in some form or fashion. Silver is silver, right? So this is my, bullion that I've had chilling for quite a while. And if you love silver, hey, free silver is free silver, right? You can't beat that. So to be entered for the buffalo, what do you have to do? All right, so, and this is important because it goes down to the rest of the GAW, so pay attention. First, the first way that you can win the buffalo is for you to, in the comments, comment the name in Talladega Nights of Cal Norton Jr. when he did his photo shoot. Comment his name in the comments, Cal Norton Jr.'s alias from his photo shoot. That is one way to be entered for the buffalo. Or you can name the character name, the British main character from the movie The Patriot. Either one of those will get you entered for the buffalo. Easy, right? Easy. Be subbed, name the channel. Name the required questions. All right, now we're going to make it a little more difficult. Now, I'm going to need you to see here. So next, we're going to give away the Chinese panda. Now, for the panda, this is a little bit, this is a little more expensive. Xi Jinping, again, I'm going to need you to comment, I love the CCP in the comments. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to do that. That is not required for entry. You don't need to love the CCP. But for the panda, you are going to have to tell me, let's see. I don't know. I'm still going to think on the panda. Let me go to the hard one. Let me go to the most difficult one. The one I'm confident is going to stay in my stack either way. The Onza. You can win this Onza by telling me in the comments, again, you got to be subbed, by telling me your guess as to what my favorite part of the movie The Patriot is. And it's a specific scene, and it's probably 3 lines long, but you can just describe what happens in that scene. Now, I am so this is such a random way to have to get a free silver. The fact that most of you had probably never even seen that movie, but also the fact that you would try to guess someone else's favorite part of it. But yeah, I will say that I'm pretty confident this is going to stay in my stack, but I'll give you a shot at it. I'll give you a shot at winning this. In fact, if you do happen to guess my favorite part from the movie The Patriot, and I'll be honest about it, I will also throw in a buffalo if you win this Onza. That is a hell of a good giveaway for just taking a quick guess. But yes, gotta be subbed, gotta comment both both of those answers. Now, what's it going to be for the panda? The community. There's a lot of people out there. It's great when you watch the smaller stacking channels and you see kind of these are just regular people living regular lives out in the middle of nowhere, doing their thing. You got people living off the land, you got people living in the city. It's an amazing group of individuals. But it's interesting. Canadian Stacker, he's out there in the wilderness. He's in Ontario, I believe, Canada. But he's got a nice river by him. He goes and enjoys that. When they had the fires up there, obviously that was something that they were dealing with. But it's interesting to see, how people are living their lives out in there, doing different things. It's very, uplifting. But it's also interesting when I see, how the other half lives. I think back, when people buy silver, I ask myself, most people in this country live paycheck to paycheck. And putting down money, whether it's $40, $50, for a couple ounces of silver or an ounce of silver, that's pretty crazy, right? I mean, I think back and I'm like, damn. I mean, there was times when I earned like $250 for like 2 weeks of work, or maybe 300. I don't remember that far back, but I just remember thinking like, wow, like what? Like that's insane. I traded years of hours of my life for working for that little bit of money. Crazy, especially obviously in this environment with the with the inflation that we've seen post pandemic. Inflation, that's another interesting point. Florida, what are you guys doing over there? What is wrong with you? What do you mean what's wrong with us? We're the best. Probably not. I mean, I don't know what the leadership in Florida is thinking. I mean, I guess I kind of do, but whether we like it or not, I mean, honestly, corporations love to exploit immigrants of all shapes and sizes. They're pretty equal opportunity there. And, Florida's laws with regard to the migrants or immigrants is, pretty crazy. If you're, if you're trying to do any kind of construction, if you have any hospitality, all these people who, for better or for worse, again, are exploited, by our country, they're not going to want to go there. Even like the truckers and stuff saying that they weren't going to go. It's crazy. I mean, I couldn't think of anything that you could really do that would hit your economy more than doing something like that. But it's interesting to see that Florida apparently has double the national average of inflation, which is pretty crazy. If you're doing things right, that probably shouldn't be the case, right? But then secondly, on top of that, this whole thing with the insurers is pretty funny. Like, that they're all just backing away from insuring people in Florida, which, I mean, it makes business sense, right? I mean, there's just disaster after disaster in Florida, or certain sections of Florida. But, you can understand why companies wouldn't want to do business there, for those reasons, especially insurance companies. But, the funny part is, I mean, it's nothing about it is funny as far as the disasters. But the interesting part is what's going to end up having to happen is the government's going to have to step in and insure, people of Florida, which is kind of socialist, right? I mean, aren't they very anti-socialist there? It's very socialist to have the government come in and step in and, subsidize you in some way, even if it's the state government. Very interesting times we're living in. Very, very interesting. The same people who say like, oh, socialism, blah, 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 but then they'll be the first ones to say, yeah, let me sign up for that government insurance in case the hurricane comes. It's a crazy world. It is a crazy world. All right. So, for the panda, we are going to have you tell me your favorite part No, it's got to be difficult. It's got to be difficult. The Chinese Communist Party wants to make sure that this is held in the highest regard. So, it's got to be some type of a trivia. Let's see. Let me think about that while I rant about something else. So, looking at the premiums on the kookaburras and the other, specialty pieces, I've noticed that there hasn't been much budging, especially on the way down. But as soon as there was this little spike in prices online, I noticed that right away prices adjusted upward, which was kind of infuriating actually. But again, very interesting times to be a stacker when it's just like you're kind of discouraged from buying even online. I guess it's a little easier if you have a coin shop where you can just go in and make an impulse buy versus having to wait for shipping. Even shipping that online, you can't make impulse buys anymore without the shipping costs. So it's kind of just all hurting right now for the stocking community. But all right, here's an easy one for the Panda. Take a guess as to what type of work I do. And you got to be specific. It can't be like a general. It's got to be specific. You got to hit the nail on the head. If you guess it, you will be entered for the Panda. So, I mean, all things considered, you could take a shot at all three. I mean, if you're really looking for free silver, that's a darn good way to get yourself some free silver. But if you only know a couple, take a shot at it. My loss is your gain.